Your world's renowned, famous drummer. It's Sunday, October 25th. October is almost done. Then it's 2 more months to go. That is November and December. Could you believe that? Could you believe that the worst, what everybody is probably calling the worst year of their entire life, is running by so fast? And this week, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? The PM was yesterday. The PM jumped on and he eased me up a little bit in Trini. Not everything open up, but things kind of at 50% speed. People can go to the beach again. No rivers. But the common thing you're seeing across TNT is a common message. Do not jackass the thing. Do not jackass the thing. You know how we get. We get an inch, we want a mile. Fortunately, I'm in the UK, I'm in London, see it dark outside. I would not be participating in the jackassness. But for those of you, please be considerate for the people who follow protocol, and let we get the economy going again. Let we take out this time to push and spend and relax and free up yourself. And you know what? Yeah. So quick plug before I bring in my guest. I have 2 special guests tonight and have a great show. And before that, I want to mention there is a big virtual concert, a benefit concert next weekend, the 30th of October. 1 Caribbean, 1 Future, 1 Yard. So look out for that on 1 Yard Caribbean. That's the Instagram, or 1yardcaribbean.com website. I don't know if it's fully released yet, but you can check that out. But we're talking about Kester Band. We're talking about Voice. We're talking about Freetown Collective. We're talking about Ravi B. Out of Jamaica, Beanie Man, Shensia, Chronics, Barbados, King Bubba, Grenada, Little Natty and Thunder from Wasways, Tamika Marshall from Guyana. Big up Tamika. So next week, mark your calendars, big benefit virtual concert. So that is to come. Tonight, though, I have to catch up with a friend who I have not spoken to in a while and see what is cooking. I will run a reel, of course, I normally do for my artists. So if you don't know about this guest, you need to know some history, and we will find out more. So without further ado, we'll run the reel, and introduce Shurwayne Winchester.
This girl is trouble when she bubble, when she wind up on it. She's trouble when she bubble, when she bite on the lip. Trinidad, where you say? Tobago, where they? Trinidad, there we go. Tobago, I love Carnival, the best in the region. From we born, we fed till we days done. Coconut tree shade from the hot sun. That is we, that is we.
Shurwayne Winchester. I feel like I need to beat some iron.
Now we talk. What's up, man?
I am good, boss. I am good. It's been a minute since we have connected and spoken, so I had to reach out to you and we had to do this interview. Like, you know, it's been a while. It's been too long.
Yeah, man.
Let's just put it that way. I ran your reel. I went back as far as I could get music videos for. I know when you had, you know, your 2 road march titles, the band come in and Dead or Alive. Those weren't even shot in HD, yeah? That was shot in old school business. Yeah. And listen, those are still those videos. I was watching it, and Lisa Wickham and that whole team.
Yeah,
they were ahead of their time. Still ahead of their time. Yep. Like they were doing stuff back like.
Yep. Fantastic.
Which was your favorite? Which is your favorite all-time Shurwayne Winchester song that you put out today?
that is quite difficult for me to say honestly. I've been asked that before, and to date, each song has its own characteristics, so it's really hard for me to say. For Power, if I have to put it into segments, I would say for Power, um, I love Can't Wait. I love Can't Wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait for morning.
For Groovy, once upon a time, I would jump up and tell you, "Hey, don't stop." But now I would say Born to Wine. You know?
Born to Wine.
Yeah.
This girl is trouble when she bubble, when she wind up on it. She's trouble when she bubble, when she bite on the lip.
And then, well, as people know, I dabble in the different genres and so it have choices in the different genres of music as well. But it's great actually having a catalog that you could really have that problem. I like that problem. That's a nice problem to
That's
have.
a good problem to have. And like Don't Stop is a classic. That like the whole video, the way it was shot, the East Indian dancers, that is like insane. Like it's still, that will be timeless. No matter when you look at that video, you'll think it released like last week.
I remember they had a something that Cut was having, and they used the Don't Stop as the example of the hit, and Don't Stop as the example of the video, and that meant a lot to me, because knowing that the copyright organization of Trinidad and Tobago pulled on that video, it meant that the substance of it, and that's what you want. You want timeless songs that just age better like wine.
Yeah. Before it slips my mind, right? So you mentioned that Can't Wait, right? Probably in the Power side. That's 2006. We're coming off of 2004, 2005, 2 mega years, 2 road march titles. Then, and I don't know, correct? Were you like in 2006? You took Power and you took Groovy, right?
First
so
time
Can't
ever
Wait
done.
was Power, Don't Stop was Groovy.
Was Groovy, yeah.
And did you like how you could have the trifecta? You could have the trifecta, and I think that year Road March was Band of the Year with Patrice and Marshall.
Yep.
But how close were you that year for Can't Wait and Road
It
March?
was close. It was very close. I can't remember the exact number, but it was very close. In fact, people were saying, "Oh my God, Tobago was bowling." I mean, it was amazing. So that Can't Wait came second, a small margin actually, a small margin.
It was small. Has anyone, and I should know this, but has anyone won all 3? I know you won 2 Power Groovy.
Yeah.
I know Fayan also took Power and Groovy in the year.
No,
right?
No one has won. As far as I remember.
As far as you remember, no one has taken all 3, huh?
No. Yeah.
Wow.
I won the Power and Groovy, the first person to do it. I did that, and I won 3 Groovy.
So you were the first to win Power and Groovy senior?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
congrats.
When Fayan followed doing that, and then he started Adax claimed the title.
Right.
As well.
Okay, so we want to go back to some history of Shurwayne Winchester, because I met you. I was actually on Trini Jungle just looking up some interviews.
Yeah.
And our first interview, 2005, 2006, somewhere around that time when he was Road March King. In Canada, it started, and then back in Trini. But you have been doing this thing since you were 12 years old, and you were more in the Calypso side.
Yeah.
So give us the history of Shurwayne Winchester, because people always assume, 1 minute is, hey, this man come out of nowhere and he's now the Road March King and really towing. There's a whole history that leads to that point, and I want to kind of walk through that.
Well, Shurwayne Winchester, born and raised in Tobago, as we would say, a wee boy from Signal Hill, Tobago. And when I started, it was because of a neighbor complaining about the noise I would make around the house. I was in the cadet band. So they gave us, you could play a side drum or a trumpet. I chose a trumpet. And I had this neighbor called Pandy. Now, Pandy would always complain.
And not Basil.
Yeah. not Basil.
Not Pandy.
But every time I tried to practice with the trumpet, he would call my dad and he would go, "Oh, I didn't turn your son with that noise." I would stop the trumpet, I would start to sing, same thing. So I would wait until 6 p.m. because of him complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go on the back step and I would belch out with that trumpet. Pow! And the man called my dad, boy, and my dad was furious. And he said, "You know what? Because of that, you want to make noise?" And my dad wrote a calypso. And he didn't ask me, he told me, "You're going to be singing." And right there it started. The first calypso, the first song I ever did was a song called National Pride. Hold on
National
now.
Pride.
I am young, I am glad, I'm overjoyed. I'm the happiest child today to be a son of the soil of TNT, a nation that God bless in every way. Two lands divided by water, and yet united as one. I love the unitary state, but at any rate, I'll declare how I feel as man. I love the way of life in Tobago. It's amazing the way we live. Each one help one is the motto, and everyone has something to give. Every elderly is a parent. I'm like a son to my neighbor Jean. Very seldom you see a vagrant, and the street always looking clean. That's the first song ever that I sang for National Pride.
Listen, I wanted to salute you right now because you remembered all the lyrics.
Yeah.
And this is something I always ask a lot of artists, when you have such a large catalog, do you really remember every lyric for every song? And that's the first song ever.
Yeah, the first. That muscle memory of the rehearsal and the rehearsal and the rehearsal with my dad. We graduated, so I did that song. I came second in my primary school. And then I remember going to secondary school and I became a jeweler. And my dad said, what you want to do? What's the next step for you? And I said, if Calypso helped me then, I wonder what it would be like if I really put all into it. And I mean, give up my job, give up everything and just focus on it. And I did that. I came down to Trinidad to get in with Spectacular Forum. I wasn't successful. And I remember Andy Marcel told me that he would get me to do background vocals with a band, and the band was Traffic. I didn't want to do it. At that time, I didn't like bands, honestly. I didn't like bands.
Right.
But the only thing I did, I just sang background vocals for the season. I tired of the running and the running, bring down the rhythm. I tired of the running, bring down the rhythm. Bring it up, stop, biddy bang bang. And Andy Joseph decided when he heard my vocal ability, we're going to try you with a song. And he gave me a song and I sang that song, but nothing came out of the song. And I was performing in New York and Crossfire, Edwin Yearwood, and they saw me. And that is the beginning of Shurwayne Winchester.
For real?
Yeah.
Edwin Yearwood and Crossfire in New York?
Yes. When I performed and they heard my voice, at that time, you have to remember, you didn't have much singers. You had to have a deep voice. And I couldn't do that. So when it came time for me to give the commands, like tell the crowd to do something, I would be faced with a problem. So I looked at the Baron and I said, instead of shout the command, let me try singing it. So I started saying, let's say I'm singing a song. A dreamer was the hickey on your neck, pretty girls and them, come to me. I would sing the command and sing the instruction, and Edwin liked that. He spoke to Andy, and Crossfire gave me the opportunity to do my first album. And from that, you got Get Out My Dreams, you got Wind Down, you got Front, you got Baby Love. And I mean, just to summarize, at Shurwayne Winchester, the brand started to develop there. So it's been a long journey, but trust me, it has been very difficult.
What year was that? Around what year?
I can't remember I'm sorry. I tried to give you that, I will lie to you. I can't remember.
And I'm asking because I know from your bio it had 1998 Traffic. This is before or after that?
No, this would be after that. Because I joined Traffic and then I met Edwin, and then I remember Edwin's advice. He told me, just be you. You're unique. Be sing.
Evan, mute. You're back? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. But basically, that's how it started, and it graduated with song after song, learning to write. I remember listening to Baron, and Kitchener and Sparrow had a philosophy that if you did not write all your songs, or you were not part of the writing, that you were not a true artist. So I wanted to write. So I remember writing wind down, but I wasn't sure about it. I wasn't really sure of it. Down, down, to wind down low. I never did know that the woman could have so moving the body so nice and slow. The way she move it shake like jello. When you know that the girl in heat, if you want the girl to, and if you want to know the girl down below, she said the waste time let the next man go. The girl will be wind down. But the song took off, and my confidence then built, and it was crazy. Just pen to paper, pen to paper, pen to paper, and actually, no, that's how I feel again. Just to summarize, that's how I feel now, excited.
It's funny you should say that, though, Shurwayne, because when I did an interview a couple of weeks ago with Kerwin Dubois, and he did this whole spot project with all these young or upcoming or unfound talent, and he told each and every one of them that were singers that weren't writing, you need to get down in it and write a piece of this song, will be a part of the writing process, because he believes that you can't be an artist or true artist by just singing and people writing for you. He actually said that, and I didn't believe it. And he said it's not wrong to be an artist and get music that you didn't write and sing it, but as a true artist, you should be able to write your own at times.
Because the concept of an artist and an entertainer, according to what field that you hold, you're supposed to inform and educate. Now, some persons, maybe they just have the vocal ability to sing, but that skill of putting pen to paper, they don't write it, they don't have it, and by doing so, they allow the industry to develop that you have writers. However, it's always nice to have a piece, because remember, it's coming from here and it's coming from here. And you, because you have the ability to write, you could inform, and you could tell someone how you feel or express yourself in a way that is unique to you. You understand? So I don't, that's just me personally. I like the fact that we have writers, because it makes it a lot easier for acts. But if you could still put pen to paper, then don't stop. Write. You could never tell. You could never tell what the next hit is going to be. And it could be one song to change your entire life.
Yeah. I see Gary V always tells every artist that he meets, he's like, you're just one song away from being a superstar. One
song.
He's like, keep singing. One song and you will be a superstar. Just keep going. And you just said that. What I wanted to figure out or understand, I know 2008, you formed your own band. It was Shurwayne Winchester and Y.O.U.
Yes.
Y.O.U. Yes, one unit, right?
Yeah.
Is the band still around? Was that done? Like, how long did the band last? Or is it still around and now it's just kind of inactive and it's Shurwayne now? Or is it now going back to Shurwayne Winchester, the brand?
Well, with the band, I would tell you, I had the pleasure of working with, I call him now a big brother, Maxi Priest. So we did Make It Yours, and Maxi Priest flew down to Trinidad to do the video with Lisa Wickham. We did the video, and while backstage, my band is there, and he said he will call me singer. He said, singer, I love what you're doing. He said, but you will learn. And I'm like, okay. I said, what do you mean? So I decided I would build my own studio. I wanted a headquarters for Shurwayne Winchester. So we constructed SW Limited, which is a meeting place, staff, everything. So when you want to talk Shurwayne Winchester, the brand or the business behind Shurwayne Winchester, there's the company. So I brought Maxi Priest up and I'm showing him. I said, Maxi, this is where it's gonna go, showing him the plan. And he said to me, well, one, this is the glass you should use for the studio. And he said, why do you want to have a band? I said, how do you mean why I want to have a band? I said, just like any of the greats. He says, yes, but the concept of a band is different today. He explained to me that the Jamaican band sometimes is one band performing for most of the acts. You don't own a band because it's unfair to the other acts. Meaning, let's say that on one night or a particular year, I don't have the same amount of bookings as previous years. My musicians would just sit down waiting on me for shows. Or your band, your members have the ability that they could cut shows. If you free up your band, they could work with any other artist, but you have the understanding. This is your family. When it's time for your show, you pick up the phone or you have your group and you send a message. Hey, these are dates we have. And your band comes back. rehearse and you go cut the gigs in that way. And sad to say it happened, I started getting a lot more solo performances because of the economy where promoters couldn't bring an entire band. They started scaling down, scaling down. And your band would be at home and they're waiting for when you have a big show. And that was unfair. So I had a meeting with my band members and I said, I'm going to allow you to cut gigs with any band you wish. When we have our shows, make the call. We have our group. You put the message in there, the date of the show, and so we come, we rehearse, and that's what we've been doing. So before this, we went to England. We did that show. We went to Tortola. They did the show, and it works out great. So the musicians are always earning just as the vocalists, as you have it in Jamaica. So Shiloh band, you will see some of Shiloh bands working for Shaggy. You see with Maxi Priest, you see with Buju. You see, and you see, wait, he didn't just play, but that's how they work it. And the musicians now, the skill of the musicians get higher because they're now sight readers and they have the ability with their memory to play for any other act. And so the industry becomes stronger. So the musicians are not sitting down, not earning. The vocalists are not sitting down, not earning. Everyone is at the table eating, and that's how it's supposed to be.
All right. Yeah, I like that philosophy, but I still feel, and I don't promote enough band events or shows to know how that would work, which is why I was trying to see if Stephen could give us insight. But I do like that philosophy where you pull your unit together like the Transformers when you need them. But at the same time, I also believe in, if from watching the business, if you have a band that works year round continually, I don't like to call names. I love to call names. So say, you're looking at the Casty band, for instance, right?
Yeah.
That continually practicing and touring together as one, and they'll take bookings. Cass could go and do a solo from time to time, but the unit's so tight. Whenever they meet up or continually, you know what brand or product again, and then the fan base also gets familiar with the entire band, right? And I find when you start doing the pulling units of people from different times, then I will only always know Shurwayne, but I'll never know who the drummer is or the guitarist or the bass man.
You are correct there, but remember with Yes One unit, when we go to perform, it's my unit you're seeing. You're seeing my individual members coming together. So you have Alton, Rico, Jerry and Williams, Mang, Kamau, Skerret, and we come together and we cut, and then we do. Because the reason for that is you have to face the fact as Kes band is a totally different unit to some of the other bands. You have to look at your market. And if it is, there's one rule that you have to follow how the economy goes. You can't fight the economy. So let's say that I'm telling the promoter, listen, I can't do the show because of the cost that you have, the budget that you have. It cannot sustain me coming with my band. But it's an important show. Instead of me saying, okay, I lose out of that entire show, you say, okay, this is what we could do. Shurwayne Winchester would come and do this show. You have another show. I would bring my band, and we do it that way. Before, what would happen is your band would just sit down at home, not working. And for me, this is just my personal view. That's unfair. The musicians have to live. They have families as well. So you looked at how the marketplace is going, and I worked it that way because it works for me, that my musicians, when I need them and we have the band shows, we cut the shows. For instance, if you have some projects coming up, you'll be seeing Shurwayne and the band. Otherwise, that were the individual shows, as some of the new markets I'm going to that I've been targeting, I go and start that performance myself, introduce the brand Shurwayne Winchester, then I bring the band to follow.
Right.
But understood.
So if tomorrow, if things were normal and you have a show and a booking and they say, hey, we want Shurwayne Winchester with a band, you have your band ready to go?
Yes.
Ready to go?
One time. And the great thing about this, and I must say, again, this is unique to Shurwayne Winchester. I'm just blessed that I can't go. Because of how my band works, we have musicians in Portugal. We have musicians, most of the members in Trinidad. We've had links even in Barbados that we connect. And again, that's just unique to me. That's how I make it work for me.
I was going through your album catalog, right? So 2002, Under My Spell, 2004, Press Play, 2005, Give Thanks, 2006, Evolution. So you're bringing us an album almost every year. 7, Adrenaline, 2008, Renaissance, and then You in 2009. But it hasn't been an album since 2009.
No, the album just came out actually. Well, what happened was with that, looking at the market and how it's going, digital downloads, and so talking to the team, we said, okay, let's go this way. Do the album soft copy goes out to Apple and Amazon and so on, sell the album from there. But the hard copy, I said, okay, I'm not gonna go that way because of how the marketplace was going. However,
Right.
coming this year, but it was supposed to be the end of going for Carnival.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
an album. All the songs are completed and ready to press. Just for because there are some persons still like that hard copy feel in their hands.
Right.
All right. But
Mm-hmm.
Mr. COVID-19 came and let's just say back to digital again.
Yeah.
But there we're gonna be some you're gonna get an EP and you're going to get an album because of the different genres that I'm doing. But
Okay. So the EP will be how many songs? 5,
the
6?
EP, yeah, 6 songs.
And the
I
album?
have I have the album will be 12.
12. You have the name
We
of the album
have
already, the title?
no that's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's back to the drawing board concerning the name of the album based on everything that is going on. We have songs that were completed and changes have to be made based on this because again, back to the main point, you have the
Right.
ability to write. You have you're seeing things happening and unveiling right before your eyes that you have to change because you don't want to release the song because okay, I have this song and it's structured and it's down and I'm releasing the song when so many topics and so many events on unveiling itself before your eyes. So
Right.
some changes are being made.
So I guess you can answer this question for me because we're talking about digital versus physical.
Mhm.
I assumed, I know from back in the days when the DJs had to carry their record crates and then they went to
Ah,
CDs, then there's
yeah,
laptops with MP3s, right? So people don't even know what cassette players, people don't even know what a CD players. These kids nowadays only know about MP3 players,
yes.
and half of them don't even know about that. They're just on their phone straight streaming. When you, as an artist, and I don't know the answer, if you release an album when you release the next album, does it have to be both physical and digital, or a lot of
No,
artists are just doing digital? Tell me how this part works, because I assumed for the past 5 years everything was always just iTunes or digital, that no one was actually doing physical copies that will be in a VP Records or a different record store.
it boils down again to the economics. Why would you go press a physical album? That's a cost, that's an additional cost. When
Right?
the average youth now, they don't listen. They listen to music with their eyes, not with their ear. They look at the
Yeah.
visuals behind it. So
Yeah.
you're going to print a hard copy that is only someone who has that memory and that capacity. They want to feel that tangible in their hand to say, okay, well, I have this record, you're collecting it. But you don't have much persons doing that anymore. In fact,
Right.
in Europe, they're going back to the 45s.
They
People are
are.
pulling, yeah. Real DJs and music lovers want to get a record because of that fat sound that it have. But you're not getting much persons going behind CDs. So if you're an artist and you're looking at your spend, okay, if I do my digital album, the same songs, same high quality, easy transferable, people are on their phone, buy the song, broop, stream the song, broop, and done. Many persons don't want to go into a store and pick up an album anymore. So you're looking
Yeah.
at that and you have to face the fact of the market. However, a special occasion is coming up and you feel that, okay, I would like to give my fan base my collector's item. You do the physical copy that they open and they see the photos and all of that, and you go
Yeah.
that way. So it's up to you and what your mindset is and your prospect, where you want to place yourself.
Yeah. How difficult or easy, what would you say, which way is it now to promote and get a new album out in 2020 versus say 2009? You think it's
It's
easier or harder work now that we've gone so
easier,
digital?
easier, easier.
Easier.
There's some things that I miss because I had the thank God the opportunity to see it, hearing the sound of the real the fatness of a of your track, that there's a weight in the sound of a song in versus that digital sound. And I miss the that personal connection. Sometimes you go and you get to see your fans. I miss that
Right.
interacting with them instead of it just being commerce. You love my songs and so on, you just buy, you stream the song, and it could be one. I remember hearing one of the icons giving the argument that's why your music does not have that lasting tag, because there's not a connection between you and that person. You can't see the person in their eyes. They come and they just stream your song and that's it. But it's way easier now digitally. It's way easier. You get your song up, you do your social media advertising, bam, your song goes out, you put it up, you advertise, you promote it. People know the date is releasing, you have your countdown and all that. Instead of lifting it to carry it to the record store, what date is trying to bargain with where on the shelf your album would be placed. You want to, as soon as the door opens, your album is on that shelf. They say, well, no, you have, it's way different now. Easier. Yes, I see Stephen is back. What's up?
Check.
You get somebody Wi-Fi.
No. I drive close to a cell tower.
Welcome, man.
What? So International Stephen is in the ATL, the land of COVID, the COVID-free ATL. Shurwayne, you know there's no COVID in ATL, right?
Boy. How
ATL, New York, no corona. It's free.
Listen, right now, COVID is something we had to learn to live with, So it's you. It's like Donald Trump didn't want to protect himself, so he gets it.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
That was imagine if someone like Donald Trump, who is the most protected man in the world, get COVID.
It's inevitable to me, if you ask me. Everyone is going to get it eventually. It's just when and how.
Yeah.
I know people that never left their house because they're so paranoid about it, and it came home to them. So yeah, man, I had to come see my kids, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it anymore.
This is the first time on the road?
Yeah.
Since the whole epidemic, yeah?
Yeah, I've been in St. Lucia since March, and I didn't leave until
Carnival, yeah.
You could fly you could fly in and out of St. Lucia?
Yes, but you have to quarantine for 14 days going back. Leaving is no problem.
14 days going back. Sure. And when are we gonna get the borders open back for Trinidad?
Yeah.
To go and come.
You see what it is that what's happening in Trinidad, in my opinion, is something that of course you want to lock down the place to flatten the curve, but it's inevitable.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it's going to.
You're right. You're right, because if you watch the news now, the latest thing that has been trending is do not lock down. Lockdown is not the cure or the solution to the virus or to the problem, to the pandemic. Lockdown equals poverty.
Yeah.
That's what people been on now. Listen, locking down will not resolve the problem that we're dealing with scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to now figure out how to operate, as you said, and live with while we resolve the science.
Yeah,
I think we had no choice with the lockdown because we didn't understand the science.
Yeah,
but the whole world has now came to the understanding that, hey, listen, we're losing businesses every day. People shutting down, bankruptcy. People need to live. People need to pay their bills, and Corona's still out there.
The thing I think on our side, what I believed happened was our health infrastructure. The number of persons wanting to come home. I can't remember the exact number, but it's close to over 315 1,000 in Brooklyn alone. Everybody wants to come home. Let's look at it that the medical facilities, if they come in, everybody come home and excited, and there's a spike, the hospitals and so they are not equipped to know. So then it would spill over. That's why they started to shut down. However,
same in St. Lucia.
I'm not gonna lie, it is beyond difficult. Every day goes by, you're wondering, of course, with the last televised broadcast where we're waiting for the Prime Minister to announce it. Listen, it was like the World Cup,
Yeah.
People watching, we waiting to see the Prime Minister's dress code, because according to the shirt that he wears, it means
what was his dress code that he wear? I didn't see. What did he come dressed up?
I was driving. I was coming
from
driving my daughter, so I was just waiting.
Does anybody live could comment? Let us know what the Prime Minister was wearing, because I know there's the dress code. Full suit mean lockdown. If we come with a blazer and a t-shirt, it means we get a 2 weeks. If we come with a t-shirt or relax, we get through.
But I tell you, when that border opens, oh my God, jeez.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. Because
madness.
This COVID thing, I sat back for such a while and just observed everything and just been thinking of, okay, what is the play? And I kid you not, I came to Atlanta for 2 months to make money. I have events, you know, and yes, you know, there are persons that can say, how could you be having events and at a time like this and people are dying from this thing? And I understand, but we can function, you know, in situations with COVID. Not everybody follows the guidelines that are given to them in parties and events, but we can function. And as much as I'm dying from poverty, you know, I need to make money to feed my children. So I still have to, this is my livelihood as well. So I came to work, you know. So I understand all sides because I sat out for 7-8 months, no earnings because of, they said, okay, listen, stay away. Let's just flatten the curve. The curve has not flattened, but in that 7-8 months, I still have to feed my children. So, you know,
how's it
I hear
turn
all
out
sides.
events? How is it turn since coming out? People are confident and relaxing of the coming out and party.
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
Normal. Ram. They can't even fit everybody in the club.
You didn't see my last party?
Stop.
You didn't see my last party? Ram in the morning?
Sure, and as I tell you, I'm watching these lives and these Insta stories and things of what going on in Atlanta, New York, and I'm thinking, but there's no Rona in these places. People just bubbling hard. And apparently they're raising the rates of the club prices too because they can't have the capacity to hold up the demand.
Yeah. So I have an event tonight. You know, the club I use is an indoor-outdoor. So I'm doing the best I could do. Of course, we have all these safety protocols in place. You cannot enter without a mask. All right. All the staff, we have the staff wearing face masks, face shields. Right. You know, I don't heal nobody. There's no, you know, no hug and thing, no dap. No, even no daps is a shoulder. You might get elbow from far. You know, people still getting used to it because when I first came back and a lot of people see me, they try to hug and I just kind of stiff arm. You know, because they outside, so they feel like it's normal again, but it's not. And sorry if you find it rude, but I'm protecting both you and myself.
I don't think anybody could think that. I think now more than
some people took it. Some people took it offensive.
Not studying it, they want to be normal.
Some people took it offensive, and I'm sorry. You know, chat with me on it at another time. But if you can't see why we're not hugging, there's something wrong with you. You know. Yeah, man. But Dre, how I ain't get no intro? Everybody's get intro. You ain't been no intro.
Yeah. I was looking for that video clip of you diving off the stage in the Gen X Jubilee party that we shot when they surf the crowd and come back. And then I just ran out of time and I said, you know what?
You ran out of time.
I'm gonna switch it up on Ray and if I start doing intros to all the DJs, then I have to start doing intros to the producers and then I got to do intros to the producers and I have to start doing intros
to my life. Well, let me tell you my life.
Lightman.
I have so much content. And I can't get a small intro, a little snippet intro, boy.
Yeah. Because then Kevin Crown would be calling me up saying, Dre, where my intro from last week? I'll be like,
but that's you to deal with them. I deal with you for mine. Let them deal with you. I want mine. Treat me as professional as everybody, please, sir. Next time. I'll get one blind here.
I wanna circle back, Stephen, to one the conversation I was trying to bring in when Shurwayne was talking about his band is set up in play, but they don't always have to go with them, but you could call them when you needed to, and they could do other shows. And as a promoter, which one do you prefer? You prefer when you have a band that fully always running together and probably only want to be booked as a band, or you like to have the I need your band or don't need your band?
I'll be honest with you. As a promoter, I love band. I think you can't replace a band with vibes. But unfortunately, the times we live in can't afford it. And it's not that the band charging plenty money, you know, it's just, you know, some expenses you cannot cut costs on. You have to fly them. You have to treat people like human beings. So you have to put them in a hotel room. You have to feed them. So you have to respect that too. You understand? So what it is, we more or less, we can try to get to the big shows. Back in the day with the big brass and glow shows and everything, those numbers don't exist no more like that. All that Bayside Huts in Miami and those 10,000 people, where do you see that? That don't exist like that anymore. So it's very difficult for bands to have, you know, consistent shows, consistent earnings. You know, the Carnival season, you might get 1-2 gigs for a band. And it's a difficult position for fellas like Shurwayne because, you know, as much as you get Shurwayne on a track show, which he has, you know, tweaked his track show to be very, very dope. You know, Shurwayne with a band is pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because he could read and do what he want when he wants it. With tracks is more of a pre-planned situation, you know, and he has been one of the successful ones, been able to tweak it to Kess as well. With the track show, with the MPC guys. But it's difficult, man. As a promoter, I think we need to go back in that direction because it has affected the vibe of the events.
Yeah.
But you know, we need to find a way to do it. Maybe we partner with the artist. I don't know. We need to figure out something.
It's hard to watch Shurwayne without a band, actually, because I know Shurwayne Winchester and her band from the initial. When I see Shurwayne run on a stage in Miami or New York, I'm thinking, this man, he needs his band because the energy is like 10 times, 100 times more than when he's just Shurwayne alone, huh?
I remember rehearsing because I believe in my rehearsals. So trying to get myself prepared to perform without the band was also a learning experience. I wanted the DJ. I needed to feel the impact of the DJ. He knows where I'm going. You hear me? I know what's going on there. Is that my side?
I'm going to meet Stephen while they're talking. Maybe that might be it.
Yeah, but basically, as I'm in total agreement. And again, it's unfair to your musicians to sit down and wait. And that's why I made that decision. So my musicians cut from Bungie, go right back. When you need them, you give them a call. But we had these shows, you put it in the group, we come and rehearse, and we often we do our performance. So that way, everyone around the table is eating because everyone has a family and everyone has their bills. So to have a musician just sit down because you have a show and the promoter can't handle the cost to bring the band. Airline tickets, podium, you understand? All the essentials that you want to take in somebody from their home that you need to take care of. It's expensive. It's hard on a promoter. And because I'm a promoter as well, I could understand. I see it for myself. But a band show is one of the greatest things. It's the greatest thing of your band.
True. I guess another question that I'm curious about. In this industry, you see there are certain artists always riding within the, I guess, the carnival scene or circuit, right? And then you have certain artists or bands that will come and go in and out. For yourself, right? From going, from Calypso, and then they came into the soca scene and they rode the soca scene, and he became, to me, one of the major names as a soca artist, if you call it the top soca artist in the game. And for a while now, and I won't say a while, but in the recent years, maybe the events that I tend to go to, I'm always seeing the same 2 bands or 3 bands in rotation. And some people might say, well, Dre, you're going to these type of parties, you're going to... Have you been, because when I message you, I mean, you're like, hey, Dre, I have this interview and I've been busy and I know you're still touring and doing things. How, explain to me how big the industry is where I might not be seeing Shurwayne Winchester in events that I'm going to, but you're not sitting down at home scratching either. So
let me give me
the dynamics of this. Just and I'll throw an example. I know Destra will always say she gets way more work outside of Trinidad than in Trinidad. So, she's always touring. She's in Totola and this and islands I don't even know about because she's just getting that love, and out there working. And is it really stay for you? Am I see you successfully in a Trinidad Carnival season? Are you still working in different parts of Trinidad I'm not probably seeing you in?
Let me and this, when you ask entertainers this, I'll be real with you. Most entertainers will tell you what sounds good because you don't want to look as though that you're not an item that is in demand. The reality of the reality of the industry is there are markets, there are promoters that have their shows and they would have their cliques that would say, okay, I want this act, and the act would have a package that they would give to this promoter. And that's how it is at times. However, one night in Trinidad and Tobago, I did 14 shows.
Right.
One night. There are 14 events. And you are performing, and the crowd that you're seeing sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. There's so many shows. And then the acts now develop that, hey, I need to have my own show. It can't be that I'm always working for promoters. So then you tend to have certain shows you won't do because you want to save yourself for your show and your events and brands. But just like Destra, I could tell anyone, and I think it's a known fact now, I get 90% more shows internationally than in Trinidad and Tobago. I have my shows here. I have my own events as well. I'm thankful to God, sold out.
Yeah.
But As soon as Carnival is over, it's one of the greatest time for me. I'm going from different markets, new markets that I've been working on.
Right.
Because I made the decision, I wanted to invest in myself, be an all-around entertainer, and get a lot of those major concerts that I could sing other songs than just soca, and it took some work. I'm now going in that direction. I'm really happy about that. But 90% of my shows is on the international market. Destro, as you said, you highlighted, similar.
What would you say is your biggest market outside of Trinidad that loves you the most? The diehard market that they can't have enough of showing.
New Orleans.
Now tuning into Brazil, Colombia as well as a market now that COVID, but that was something I was really eager to go to, because you're looking at where your music streaming, you're looking at where your songs playing and where you're getting calls for. So 2020, actually all around this time, was going to be really exciting, because I've seen a lot of work to get into the market, and it was actually opening. And then so a place like Colombia, how does that develop? Is there a Trinidadian promoter that happens to be living in Colombia? Like, explain how will you end up in Colombia?
Your catalog and your song, performances online, artists talking, and fans seeing you. Each performance that you do on stage is your advertising for potential of 5, 6, or 7 shows. And the type of shows that you've been going to, Born to Wine changed my market space. So while I would do songs like Look the Band Coming, Dead or Alive, Can't Wait, Open the Gate,
is
Baby
Born
Love.
to Wine the song with Inhale Me?
Yes.
Right, on the rhythm, that's the Cook.
That is Kurt Riley.
Kurt Riley out of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right. On that rhythm. What's the rhythm called?
The Jambian rhythm.
The Jambian rhythm.
Jamaica and the Caribbean. That changed.
And that changed the game for you.
Yeah, that exposed me to many different markets. And as a result, I just decided, I'm going to invest and explore these markets. And I started working towards that. And that's what I'm about now. So you're going to get your soca. You're getting that for sure. I am born soca in my blood. But there's a market outside that is buzzing. It is buzzing. Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
How come? And Stephen might be able to would have a input in this as well. Stephen, hear us? Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. How come in the COVID time, dancehall, R&B, hip hop, their streaming has increased, but for the soca, for us soca artists, it's either flatline or dipping. Why and how? Why is that?
Well, while Stephen kind of starts, okay, let me jump at it. I think for one, our music, sadly, it's too seasonal, meaning it's directly coexisted to our carnival. So a song is released, it's for Trinidad Carnival. A song is released, it's for Vincy Carnival, Vincy Mass, it's for Spice Mass. And the music now, a lot of artists held back music because the carnival wasn't happening, while some put out some stuff that was still more palatable or non-carnival related. And this now might be, which I think is a good thing for soca. This is going to allow the soca artists to now say, let me sing something that could appeal to the masses, that's not just seasonal way on the street whining or jumping and waving. So it's now soca music that we could embrace and love, that will continue to elevate and do as well as the dancehall and the hip hop and the R&B, which people would listen to year round. So instead of, you might come on and say, jam, 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 wine, 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 hand in the air, whatever, go left, go right. No, you can't do that without a fet, because there are no fet to go right, to go left. So as a soca artist, you need to now sing something that I could say, yo, that touching my hair. So, Vaughn, Letter to Outside, Black, same way. You hear music out, I could say, you know what, I could listen to Kess. If you listen to stuff that came out of Carnival, Kess, Reason to Love, or Reason to Live, Reason to Love. Stuff like that is gonna be, Freetown Collective, Feely Love, tunes like that is gonna continue. If we breed more of that type of soca, we will be here wrong all the time.
Thank you.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull this Stephen off a mute and see if you could chime in.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I agree with what you just said there, Dre. For me, actually, my streams did not dip for my productions and my rhythms and the products I have and been promoting. However, I did not experiment to see what would happen. I continue to do push. I have a lot of, emails and different creative ways virally that I can market music, and I do. And I kept doing that. Even I released the rhythm with my wife, the big mode rhythm, those things that I really focused on that during the quarantine. And I kept working, I didn't stop. So I didn't see a dip at all for me. My streams look very healthy, very grateful for that. No, I also agree again with what you said, that our music is only palatable to Carnival, is the things that we sing about. So I feel like now COVID has now put us in a position to where we have to get creative. And what it is, the artists now see that, listen, the stage, we're not getting to see that stage again in a long time. We really need to get creative now, because they were all holding out. And I can tell you, because I've been sending a lot of
they're holding out with good hope that, hey, Carnival coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's going on, yeah. When the Trinidad bomb dropped, I think that's when everybody realized, we still got to put out music, because people been had stuff sit down, put down, So it's an exciting time for me to see a lot of things coming out, a lot of people releasing music. I feel we now need to dive in a little bit deeper into our creative zones of how we market our music, because we have a chance here now.
We do.
I feel to really, really, and all the artists are speaking the same language for the first time. Everybody's now speaking the same language with the same kind of enthusiasm. Everyone is saying that stream, buy my music, support my thing. Everybody's now saying it with the same enthusiasm. Now, there's been artists been saying it for years. I'm not taking away from anyone, but now everyone gets it. So now that as a unified front, if we're all saying the same thing, our fans will get it. They will understand that, hey, this is what we need to do for soca. There's so many different things. Look at what Spice and they're doing with the petition to sign to get soca to be a genre. I think all these things are important, and it's very timely. Now is the time for us to really focus on how do we get our music to be a genre? How do we get our music out there? How do we get people to support our music more? Part of me creating that agency that I did, Dre, was to have a professional representation for our developing industry, because soca is not an industry officially.
Right. No.
It's more of a hustle. But I developed that agency so that I could assist artists with this professional front, and develop where I could help. Of course, everything is a business, but I set it up in a way where the guy with a first song who's now trying a thing could still look professional. And I feel like that was missing. Things like this is missing in our genre. I feel like very seldomly you find an artist helping an ex-artist in soca. If he not hot, they ain't pulling him under the wing. He had to be hot to get pulled under the wing. If he got one tune, he had one banger last year or the year before, really can't line with me so much. So that's the attitude I find soca have, and that's
right. Which is why I gotta give mad props to people like Shurwayne. Kerwin, Dubois. For doing the spot project and putting out a lot of young talent and looking for new things at this time. But I want to.
There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, no disrespect to the dancehall reggae community, which I love, and the whole Trinidad movement, which I love. What I don't want to see, and Shurwayne, let me take you off a mute here now as we get back. So if you're on mute, Shurwayne, you're on mute. You might have to unmute yourself. If you like Shurwayne stuck now. What I don't want to see happening is I don't want to see our soca artists saying, you know what, I've seen the Trinidad movement taking off or dancehall doing better, and I don't want to see our Trini artists, instead of focusing on the soca and the craft and increasing and making the soca product a better element, I don't want to see our soca artists now start to cut away and start to do this Trinidad reggae dancehall business, because I don't mind to do it one-off, but don't take that shortcut and think, man, I'm good because I see reggae is the new trend and I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. If you're a soca artist, I want to see you push the soca and make the soca better and not take the easy way to say, let me go and do some Trinidad because that's the new thing. I find that is a cop-out. I don't mind you do it because it hit, but don't start going on that road too much. Like, touch it but I want to see the soca go up. That's my thing. I just don't want to start to see the laziness with the cop out. Hold on, Stephen. I'm gonna take you up a mute.
Yeah, I was saying, bro, I don't think they could do that. You know, this Trinidad music is popular because of a certain type of personality these artists have. You know, these soca artists
but
won't get away with much.
Look how many DJs and artists came up with a dancehall since COVID, a dancehall cut.
Yeah, because that they feel like, okay, this is something that's trending and it's hot. No, but it'll be short lived. You know,
right?
Because
but I'm saying, why I don't want them to be, oh, this is what trending now. If no, let's make soca trending again and keep trending. Because if everybody start doing that, then dancehall gonna be the next thing, and soca gonna keep taking it back.
Well, it's kind of inevitable, you know. People always go to what's hot, you know. And then they try to fuse it. Look at how many of our superstar artists for years have been fusing things, just to kind of keep, you know, the reinventing the wheel and just trying to make things soca sound a little bit different, more palatable to outside ears. So we've been doing it, but you know, it's just to find a way now to make it work. I don't think that is going to be a problem for much of the soca artists. They're not going to go deep into it because, as I said, that the people that accept that kind of music, they buy into a personality. And
True. Shurwayne, I don't know if we lost it when I was or not. Did you hear what I was saying?
I'm not hearing you. Sorry.
Yeah, so Shurwayne, what my statement was basically was to further piggyback on what you said. As dancehall and the Trinidad movement has taken off and everybody has been gassing the dancehall, as you say, those record sales are still doing well and increasing. I'm seeing several soca artists starting to cut over and sing a dancehall track. And I don't want to see that. I don't mind to do it because they want to get in what's hot, but I want them to focus on the soca and improve the soca to be palatable and to continue to increase our sales in the soca arena than for them to start singing the dancehall and go in that Trinidad or dancehall route, you know?
But I have a different point of view, because as you're a soca artist, you're born a soca artist, it's in our DNA, regardless of what we touch. It's like the Mighty Sparrow doing over Frank Sinatra song. It's like Calypso Rose doing over one of the hits. You sing it over and you hear their vocal ability. We are entertainers. We have the ability. If you have the voice, if you have a singer's voice and you could merge it with any other genre, this is a small globe now. There is no rule to say that you have to stay within the box of soca, and that's the only thing you could sing. What I will say, when you start doing your collaborations, you push your culture as well. So, okay, I had the opportunity to do an authentic reggae with Rohan Dwyer. That's one of the names that I've always wanted to work with. I did a song with him called True Love. I just did a song with Busy Signal called Lights Off and it's again doing the collaborations because that's the world that we're in now. I want a piece of their market as they want a piece of our market. I then bring them to Trinidad to do my show, and I give my fan base a broader spectrum. Because if we ask any one of the soca lovers, is soca the only music you listen to? You will never hear yes. They listen to different genres. So it makes no sense.
I mean, I know a few people that will say it's only soca. I know a few.
No, I never. It doesn't mean you don't love it. You know, you love it, but it's a world of music. We were born from music. So you're doing your song when you do your collaboration. Spit your accent, spit your dialect, and while you're working with the acts, you are talking to them and say, hey, I want you to come to Trinidad and let them get a taste of soca, because when they go, they will start using dialect like things we would say and branch and spread it even further, because that is what we're supposed to do. From Frank Sinatra, Biggie Small, name all the international acts, Michael Jackson, come down the line. At some particular point in time, in one way or the other, they dabbled in Caribbean music, in one way or the other. Soca acts doing that now have the availability to spread the music, because that is our role and our function. You cannot preach to the converted. We could stay in Trinidad and I could spin the rag as fast as I want. They know that. I need to go and spin my rag as I did in New Orleans, Germany, Brazil, and bring them to Trinidad and Tobago and spread the music. If they can't whine to soca as we do, no problem. You twerk, but I want you to twerk to soca and get it in your system and introduce it to your friends. So that's my point of view on it.
And totally, I am 100% behind what you just said. What I was just saying, Shurwayne, is I don't want to see Shurwayne Winchester trying to be the next Trinidad artist.
No.
You understand? I don't want you saying, hey, Trinidad trending, I'm going to sing a Trinidad song next week. And I'm like, what is this nonsense? Like, this is not Shurwayne Winchester. This is Shurwayne Winchester trying to be what's hot.
Jay, to the Trinidad movement, I salute them. I salute them because
totally.
Because of the fact that they have a belief in themselves. They're from Trinidad and Tobago, but they believe in what they are pushing. And if you look at the numbers, the hits they are getting on YouTube, they are doing it on their own without any radio promotion. They are making it for themselves. So I respect that. I want them do what you're doing. It had Trinidad in it.
Yeah.
One way or the other, watch and see. One way or the other, they are going to dabble in that soca because that is in with DNA. You cannot refuse it. That's like the Bible. You cannot refuse it. West Indian people, that's soca music in our DNA. You don't have to be from Trinidad and Tobago. That is us. So let them do their thing. We doing our thing. We just pushing the music totally.
Nice. Well, on that note, I now even realize we've gone over the hour slot that I try to keep the show at. So I want to show into part of this thing is talking about what projects you're currently working on, and to tell the people what we could be looking forward to.
Well, in my camp, SW Limited, I want to thank my team, really pushing behind the scenes. So we have some projects, some international projects that we wanted to do. While this entire COVID-19 came up and it made some changes, we are still going ahead, and the growth is unbelievable, and I'm thankful. I wanted to work on my brand and expose myself. So we just did a collaboration in Honduras. We just did Jamaica. We focus on some things in Europe. The final project just went out for Colombia. That's another collaboration we did. And we have 2 other projects coming out that we're looking at what the market's saying. We dropped our parang in Trinidad and Tobago, and some soca is up next. And it's about pushing the brand Shurwayne Winchester to the world and to the markets that buying into the personalities. I want to tell all my fans, if you haven't seen what I've been doing, please check out my social media handle, Shurwayne Winchester, and let's reconnect, because so much is happening behind the scene. If you're not hearing from me, don't believe work isn't going on. It's just a lot of work going into the personality and the music to get it outside. So I welcome you. Check out the new songs, check out the music, and just check out my social media handles, Shurwayne Winchester.
At Shurwayne Winchester.
Yeah.
Wicked. Let's see if Stephen sticking out still or not.
Check.
Shurwayne, Stephen is working on our screen cover for the podcast. Let me just take a picture for the screenshot. That's why you can't get intro. If you have to get intro on the show, you have to have good Wi-Fi. Otherwise, there's no intro.
Good Wi-Fi. It's not me. I have all my.
But you're out sticking, boy, Stephen. Like, we're bad.
Let me just say this. I want to say this to Stephen and his fan base, his acts. I really respect what he's doing. I rate him for that, because I was out of the conversation for a bit, so I don't know if you all touched on this, but the contributions he has been making with new acts, the contribution he has been making as a DJ, pushing the music, and now in the production stage, I really rate him and respect him for that. So to all the acts he's working with, congratulations, and for what you're doing for soca, continue doing it, brother. You earn my respect.
Wicked. Couldn't say it any better, Shurwayne. So big up International DJ Stephen. And Shurwayne, I put up your song because it's not too early to start for the Christmas, right? So you have a parang song.
Yeah.
I wanted to introduce this song, and then we could play it for the people, and we could end with that,
To all my fans, if all think because of COVID-19 or escape, neighbor, I can't come inside. Leave the drinks by the gate. Take off the light, guys, I'm on the pride. Leave the drinks by the gate. Enter, tell you what passing by. Leave the drinks by the gate. So put everything outside. This Christmas coming is physical distancing. I don't want no surprise this Christmas. Just be wise. Leave the drinks by the gate. Leave the drinks by the gate. Neighbor, leave the drinks by the gate. Leave the drinks by the gate. What we say? Bang, bang, badang, 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 bang, bang, badang, badang. Bring it out. Bang, bang, badang, 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 bang, bang, badang, badang. Bring it out. Neighbor, neighbor, you don't want to fight. Leave the drinks by the gate. Neighbor, you sure that dog will go bite? Leave the drinks by the gate. And to tell you what passing by. Leave the drinks by the gate. So put everything outside. This Christmas coming is me and Dre, we passing. We don't want no surprise this Christmas. Just be wise. Leave the drinks by the gate. Leave the drinks by the gate. Never leave the drinks by the gate. Check it out, Shurwayne Winchester on all social media handles. The parang is called Leave the Drinks by the Gate. Love, blessing, thanks. Dre is our general. Bless.
Big up, Shurwayne. Thank you so much for joining once again.
Bless up, man.
Take the middle class for him. Ready, tap, tap.
Snowing like mad.
All the neighbors is probably thinking, what the hell is going on in that freaking flat? Bunch of noise and table banging and cup banging and microphone. So it was another great show, everyone. Thank you for joining. Big up Shurwayne Winchester. It was great catching up with you, my brother, and DJ Stephen. Always a pleasure talking. Hold it down in Atlanta, the COVID-free Atlanta. But next time I'll link you for a show. Make sure and find some Wi-Fi, please. You're making me look bad. Michelle, aren't you happy that the clock changed and the show moved up an hour so you didn't have to stay up late in Paris? So big up everybody in Paris, Le Paris, and everybody that joined all around the world. Much love every time. Christmas came a bit early. I got some new presents, prezzies, and this one is, if you didn't check it out, it's the sub collection of a heritage collection. Congratulations. And it's a product of, so if you didn't see it on our store, bam, just got the red and white Trinbagonian. So we can't leave out Tobago because, you know, we always speak about Trini and Trinidadian, but it's Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinbagonian. And yeah, if you are Jamaican, Vincentian, Bayesian, Guyanese, your t-shirt, store.trinidadjunglejuice.com. Get yours today. But I got mine, so I guess next show I could wear this. Anything. Yeah. Don't forget to vote. Vote early because November 3rd, we got to make be heard. If you're not heard, we can't make a change. So get out and vote. And that's that, folks. Till the next show, next weekend, Sunday, maybe Saturday. I try to stay on Sunday. I prefer Sunday. So let's just say Sunday next week. And actually Sunday next week, Problem Child. Problem Child said yes. So and happy belated birthday. His birthday was Friday. So hail up Problem Child on his socials. But Problem Child, next week, Sunday, and whoever else I could squeeze in there. And in the week, Thursday, Sense or Nonsense with comedian from Trinidad and Tobago, Jerome Richardson. So tune into that on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I love you guys. Store.trinidadjunglejuice.com. And until then, peace, love, and jungle juiceness.